This is going to come as a shock to most of you guys, but I've had a change of heart. I now think that leg presses are better than squats.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's up guys, Enkiri here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the value of leg machines. Now I put leg presses versus squats in the title, but really what I'm going to be talking about today is pretty much applicable to any of the major leg machines that work both the knee and hip joints together as a unit. So here we're talking really about 45-degree leg presses, which are those plate-loaded machines. It's probably the most commonly used leg machine in the gym, but also things like the hack squat machine, reverse hack squats, a flat leg press as opposed to that 45-degree leg press, and then all the different variations and derivations of these machines that are available, which are myriad, right? There's a bunch of different styles as well as a bunch of different brands, and there are small differences from brand to brand as well, even on the same type of machine. But really, the focus is just going to be on these leg machines that work the knees and hips together as a synchronous unit. What we're not referring to in this video is any calf training machine or any of the posterior chain machines. So these are both leg machines as well, but that's going to include things like the hyperextension bench, one of my favorites, reverse hyperextensions, or those hip thrust machines that are starting to become more popular now as well. Although most of the posterior chain machine exercises are arguably more calisthenic in nature than they are machine in nature, but the point still stands. As well, in this video, we're not referring to any of the single joint leg machines. So that's going to mainly be the leg extension and the leg curl. And this is an important distinction here because all of the different machines that I've listed so far have different uses, and they all pretty much have a free weight or calisthenics counterpart that accomplishes sort of the same thing, but then again, doesn't quite accomplish the same thing. And so on that line of logic, I think that the next part I want to cover in this particular series of one thing versus the other thing is why you still need leg curling variations, even if you are a master of the glute ham raise or the Nordic hamstring curl, because there are substantive differences between these actions that cannot be replicated via free weight and calisthenic exercises that actually make the leg curl a particularly useful machine to fall in love with. And the same goes, in my opinion, for most of the rowing or horizontal pulling machines that are available in the gym compared to their free weight counterparts. So I'm going to be making both those videos in just the next few weeks. Hey guys, if you could do me a favor and hit the like button and leave me a friendly comment down below before you leave the video, I would really appreciate it. The engagement is really helpful for my channel, so the more engagement we get, the more free, informative content I can pump out for you guys. Thanks a lot and enjoy the video. Now, when it comes to the major, big, bad leg machines, the things like leg presses, hack squats, etc., I think it's important to experiment with all of them, for starters, because kind of what I was talking about a minute ago, each of the different machines, and not just the style of the machine itself, i.e. a flat leg press versus a 45-degree leg press, but even just across brands, they all tend to feel vastly different. So you may love your leg press at one gym and then absolutely hate it at another, and the same thing goes for a hack squat. Personally, I hate pretty much every single 45-degree leg press that I've ever come across. They all just feel like absolute garbage to me. They force me into this rigid pattern that my hips don't like, and I just feel very awkward and encumbered, which makes getting a good range of motion an uncomfortable prospect, and that dampens my desire to push things hard and really make my sets intense, which really sort of defeats the purpose of using the machine variation in the first place. But some people absolutely love the leg press and it feels amazing for them. So to each their own, right? Now, on the other hand, for me, a hack squat machine is something that I really particularly enjoy from time to time. Some of those machines actually feel fantastic for me, and they allow me to seamlessly hit butt to calf reps all day long. In particular, being the free weight enthusiast that I am, I actually even more so enjoy the reverse hack squat machine, the reverse hack squat exercise, more than the regular hack squat. So that's where you stand backwards on the hack squat machine. And by standing backwards, the hips are able to move freely through their own desired path in space rather than being bound snug against the pad and bound by the rigid path of the machine, which creates a little bit more of a free weight feel to the movement and can make the movement feel better for some people because of that. For me, ATG reverse hack squats are fucking awesome. And discovering this concept in particular is really what got me started on searching for home gym alternatives to most of the popular leg machines. So things that sort of resembled a hybrid action between a machine leg exercise and a free weight squatting movement, right? Which is for me kind of what a reverse hack squat is. So that's kind of how I got turned on to two of my favorite volume squat variants, which are the Hatfield squat and the belt squat. On these movements, you use arm support, and by using arm support, you're able to gain extra stability that's not found in typical squatting variations. But along with that extra stability, you do still get the freedom of freely moving your hips through space as in a free weight exercise. So you end up getting a little bit of the best of both worlds. For somebody like me, that lets me push things a little bit harder, which really makes these exercises a great alternative to machine work for a home gym enthusiast like myself who doesn't typically have access to these machines on a consistent basis. Which sort of leads me to the point of this video, and that point is stability, right? Now, I promised I would concede that leg presses are better than squats. I had a change of heart. I needed to shock you guys, right? And the reason why is greater stability. And this point applies to all the other leg machines that I've talked about today, the other big bad boys, the hack squat, the leg press, etc. When you are nestled in place by a nice comfortable pad, like you're laying down on a leg press, you don't have to balance the big heavy weight anymore because the apparatus that's surrounding you balances all the weight for you. You don't have to worry about falling over or getting crushed by the weight. All you have to worry about now is pushing. Push as hard as you can for as long as you can until you can't push anymore. And this added stability provides two major benefits. One is psychological. That is, the fear of pushing things to the next level of intensity should mostly be removed from the equation with these machine exercises because the danger has mostly been removed from the equation as well, right? So this psychological aspect can be very helpful for cranking the intensity level up a notch for a lot of people who otherwise get scared under the bar. And the second major benefit to these leg machines is a physical one. Now, if you remember, I've talked in the past about why I believe that barbells are the optimal training tool for maximizing long-term strength and hypertrophy levels. And this is both of these aspects taken together as complementary training goals, which is something that they easily are. But when you isolate the goals from each other, the story changes a little bit, right? Now, some people do, by and large, seek to isolate hypertrophy at the expense of strength, and vice versa as well. Some people seek to isolate strength at the expense of hypertrophy. But at some point along the way, it really does benefit all of us, no matter what our primary training goal is, to emphasize and focus on one goal over the other at certain points in time, even if just for brief periods of time. Well, when it comes to a hypertrophy training emphasis, that is where these leg machines get their chance to shine. As part of a long-term balanced training program for the natural trainee, you would be hard-pressed to find a better short-term stimulus for forcing your muscles to grow bigger. The external stability provided by the machine removes all the stabilizer muscles from the equation. This allows the prime movers, the muscles with the greatest potential for growing bigger, to do all of the work and to be worked to a point of maximal fatigue before cessation of a set. So now the prime movers are able to become the sole limiting factor in performance if you choose for them to be, which means that they are able to be worked harder than they can be with squats and free weight leg exercises alone. Add to that these machine variants seem to stress the system lesser than their big barbell counterparts do, right? So a barbell back squat is highly systemically fatiguing, whereas a leg press, not so much. Even if you push that set of leg press or multiple sets of leg presses really hard. So suddenly, you can put in greater training volumes without exceeding your capacity to recover. You're able to put larger volumes of more intense stress on the tissues that you are targeting locally rather than beating down the entire system with a less potent local stressor. The confidence and stability that these machines provide also make them a good time to experiment with intensity enhancing techniques, these classic bodybuilding intensity enhancing techniques. So things such as a rest pause method and drop sets. And that really allows you to crank it up even another notch. So now you have exercises that you can push harder for greater total training volumes while more thoroughly fatiguing the target muscles. So this is going to yield a much more potent hypertrophy stimulus in the legs than free weights alone. So there you have it, the key reason why leg presses are better than squats. And there are certainly other factors that can play into this equation as well. Factors that make a particular machine movement feel better or end up being more productive in certain instances for a certain trainee as compared to its free weight counterpart. But these factors are really going to vary from individual to individual and are going to be based on variable factors such as anthropometry. Whereas this stability concept that I've talked about in this video really kind of reigns supreme across all of these movements and applies to all trainees. So this is really the key distinguishing point here when we are discussing machines versus free weights. And this is the main reason why leg presses are better than squats, that added stability, external stability that you gain from the machines. And you can put a little winky face on the end of that assertion there about leg presses being better than squats. But the point is, there is a place for everything so long as everything is in its place, right? Every tool has its utility. You just have to learn how and when to use it properly, what benefits that it confers compared to its close counterparts, and what training goals it's best used to help you accomplish. So if you think that leg presses and other leg machines have played an integral role in your leg growth, then chances are that you're right? So don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Don't let anyone convince you to stop doing an exercise that works for you just because that person thinks that something else is more manly or has more overall utility or whatever. And this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. This is coming straight from a guy who loves squats so much that he squatted to maximum every single day for like 4 straight months or something idiotic like that. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this one informative. If you did find it helpful, please be sure to share it around and spread the good word. Remember to smash the like button before you go. Leave me some love in the comments down below. Check out EnkiriEliteFitness.com for online coaching and training programs. And as always, keep training hard. I will catch you guys next time.